What is up, YouTube? Back in Madden 23. If you like Madden 23 rebuilds, then you came to the right place. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Make some suggestions below of other types of rebuilds you would like to see. If I choose your comment, I will feature it in that video. Francisco Javier Acosta Ochoa asked, can you rebuild the Bengals and include the trades, please? So today we're going to be doing a Bengals 5-year rebuild. We're going to be starting in the offseason. As you can see, the Eagles ended up winning the Super Bowl against the Chiefs 27-21 to win their second Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts won Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes won MVP of the regular season. Nick Sirianni won Coach of the Year. Devontae Adams won Offensive Player of the Year. Nick Bosa won Defensive Player of the Year. Kenneth Walker won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Jalen Petre won Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's always the same guys that win it. Now we're going to check out the real life stats from the Bengals at the 15th ranked offense. Defensively, they ranked number 7. Joe Burrow threw for 4,400 yards, 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 68% completion with the 100 rating. Solid season from the guy. Joe Mixon only played in 14 games, had 800 yards, 3.9 per carry with 7 touchdowns. Samaje Perine had 394 yards, 4.1 per carry with 2 touchdowns. Joe Burrow actually had 5 rushing touchdowns too, crazy. Jamar Chase led the team in receiving yards with 1,046, 9 touchdowns. T. Higgins had 1,029 and 7 touchdowns. Crazy thing is Chase only played in 12 games. Higgins only played in 14 games. Boyd only played in 15 games. He had 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. Mixon had 60 catches, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hayden Hurst 50 catches, 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. Defensively, Logan Wilson led the team in tackles with 123. Sam Hubbard had 11 TFLs, led the team in that, and Trey Hendrickson had 8 sacks. Hubbard had 6.5. Osai had 3.5. BJ Hill had 3. Von Bell and Jesse Bates both had 4 interceptions. Jermaine Pratt had 2. And then Wilson, Hilton, and Flowers had 1. The punter Kevin Huber retired after 14 years, and tight end Clark Harris retired after 15 years. We have $84 million in cap space. Jesse Bates, 26 years old, 93 overall, scheme fit, superstar dev, free safety. Definitely want to bring him back. He has a ton of interest. Wants a 4-year deal for $68 million. And he's coming back. So I have $68 million left. Von Bell, 28 years old at strong safety. He wants a 3-year deal. Let me try giving him a 2-year deal. Bump it up just a little bit. He wants to go to free agency. Dang it. Hayden Hurst probably gonna be moving on from him. He's 30 years old, 77 overall with normal dev. He's gonna keep going down because he's older. Jermaine Pratt, let's see. 3 years, 12 mil. So offer him a little bit more. He wants to come back, nice. Samaje Perine, however you say it. Probably move on from him. Probably move on from Eli Apple, 28 years old. Trey Flowers moving on. I think that's going to be it. This is what the team looks like before free agency. We're good at quarterback, running back, wide receivers are good. Offensive line, we just need a left guard. We do have Lyle Collins at right tackle, but he's injured for 22 weeks right now. So we need a left guard and a tight end on offense. Defensively, I think we're pretty much set. Defensive line's looking good. Could use another cornerback. Do have Chidobe Awuzie here. He's injured as well for 22 weeks. I'll move Hill to strong safety. We got Bates at free safety. Linebackers are looking good, so basically just a cornerback on defense. Free agency, our punter just retired, so I'm bringing in the best overall punter. Tommy Townsend's 83 overall. Jonathan Jones at cornerback, he's 83 overall, 29 years old with star dev. Got him on a 1-year deal. Bringing in Garrett Bradbury at center for a 1-year deal. And we're getting Irv Smith at tight end. He's 25 years old, 75 overall, star dev, scheme fit on a 3-year deal. Definitely picking up the 5th-year option for Joe Burrow. It would be stupid not to, obviously. First round of the draft, we have pick number 29. I'm going to draft this right guard, Nick Broker from Ole Miss. He's 6'5", 315 pounds. He's agile, scheme fit. We could always use offensive linemen to protect Joe Burrow. He's 22 years old. He has good agility, good change of direction with good speed. He only has normal dev with 85 strength. Here in the second round, I'm going to draft this tight end, Sam from Iowa. He's 6'4", 249 pounds. He's a possession, scheme fit. 22 years old, he has decent acceleration, elite agility, solid jumping, great speed with elite strength. Normal dev with 84 speed. Third round, I'm going to draft this running back, Tyjae Spears from Tulane. He's 5'10", 195 pounds. He's an elusive back, scheme fit. Could use a backup running back. This guy's 22 years old, good acceleration, great agility, great jumping, great speed, solid strength. Normal dev with 93 speed. 4th round, I'm going to draft this defensive tackle, Devonta Maxwell from Tennessee, Chattanooga. He's 6'3", 296 pounds. He's a speed Russian scheme fit. 23 years old. He has decent acceleration, solid agility, solid speed with decent strength. He has 8 finesse moves. Normal dev with 81 strength. 5th round, I'm going to draft this center, Jarrett Patterson from Notre Dame. He's 6'4", 307 pounds. He's agile, scheme fit. He has the potential to have A in a few things. 23 years old. He has great agility, elite change of direction with solid speed and marginal strength. Normal dev with 81 strength. Checking out the draft recap, pretty much it was an okay draft. 1st round pick was maybe a bust. He's a 71 overall with normal dev. This tight end, his last name was Laporta. I looked him up and I actually put his name in. For some reason, if you don't put a space between the La and Porta, it says that it's vulgar language and it doesn't allow it for whatever reason. So he's a 72 overall with normal dev. And then Tajay Spears, 73 overall running back. Not a bad pick in the 3rd round. The rest of the guys were all in the 60s. Besides this quarterback, it was a 59 overall the computer took in the 7th round. Number 1 pick was Myles Murphy, the defensive end that went to the Chicago Bears. He's a 75 overall. Bryce Young went to the Texans. Where's some other quarterbacks at? No more? CJ Stroud went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Will Levis went to the Seahawks. See who the highest in the whole class was. Will Anderson, 79 overall, went to the Cardinals and with pick number 3. This is what the starting lineup looks like for the first season. Joe Burrow's a 91 X Factor. Mixon's an 89 star. Chase is a 92 superstar. Boyd's going to be in the slot. He's 83 star div. Higgins is 88 star div. Brought in Bradbury, moved him to left guard, but he's injured right now for 1 week. Williams at left tackle is a 77. Karras is a 76. Kappa is a 80. Lyle Collins back off injury, 83 star div. Brought in Irv Smith at tight end. He's a 75. We also drafted Laporta to be the backup. Defensively, it's all the same defensive guys pretty much all the way around. We just brought in Jones over here at cornerback too. And then we got Hill moved over to safety. Defensive line's looking pretty good. These 2 guys only have normal dev, but they're still 88 and 83. Hovers is 78. Reader's is 88. And then we also have Hilton down here in the slot at corner. So we have high hopes for this team going into the first year. Looking at the schemes and the playbooks, I'm keeping everything whatever is the default for the Bengals. So it's the multiple zone run, the 4-3 under on defense, and then the Bengals offense and defensive playbooks. The midseason point, we're off to a decent start. We're 4-3, second in the division to the 4-3 Steelers. The Browns and the Ravens are both 3-4. See what players we have to negotiate with. We have $80 million in cap space. We got T. Higgins, DJ Reader, Logan Wilson, Chidobe Awuzie, Tyler Boyd. We have a bunch of starters over here we need to look at. Starting with T. Higgins, 24 years old, 87 overall, scheme fit, star div. Definitely want to bring him back. He has a lot of interest. He's coming back on a 3-year deal. DJ Reader at defensive tackle, he has no interest at all. 87 overall, star div. Want to wait till the end of the season on him, see if he goes down a little bit. Maybe he'll gain some interest. Logan Wilson, outside linebacker, do want to bring him back. 86 overall, star div. He's coming back on a 4-year deal. Chidobe Awuzie at corner. I'm going to wait till the end of the season with him. Tyler Boyd, 28 years old, 83 overall, star div. I'm going to wait till the end of the season to see if he goes down some at all. Same thing with Jonathan Jones. Jermaine Carter probably moving on from. End of the regular season, we finished 11-6, won the division. The Ravens won 11-6. The Browns went 10-7, and the Steelers went 7-10. Let's check out the season stats. We had the number 1 ranked offense. Love to see it. Defensively, number 28. That's not good. Joe Burrow threw for 5,100 yards, 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 66% completion with the 105 rating. Great season by him. Joe Mixon, 1,300 yards running, 5.1 per carry with 18 touchdowns. That's an awesome season. The rookie Tajay Spears had 275 yards, 3.8 per carry, 7 touchdowns. Jamar Chase had almost 100 catches, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns. T. Higgins, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. Tyler Boyd was just short of 1,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. Irv Smith, 80 catches, 800 yards, 4 touchdowns. Joe Mixon, 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. Logan Wilson led the team in tackles with 131. BJ Hill had 18 TFLs. Sam Hubbard led the team in sacks with 6.5. We didn't really get a lot of sacks. We need to do something about that. Maybe we need to change the Bengals defensive playbook. Trey Hendrickson had 4.5. BJ Hill and DJ Reader had 3. Jermaine Pratt had 4 interceptions. Hilton had 3. Wilson had 2. Awuzie had 2. Taylor Britt had 2. Jones, Hill, and Anderson had 1. We're going to be playing against the 11-6 Baltimore Ravens in the wild card round. They are definitely a divisional rival of the Bengals, obviously. We got the Bills against the Browns, the Titans against the Chargers, and then the Chiefs had a first round bye week. Unfortunately, the Ravens beat us 28-24, knocking us out of the playoffs. The Cardinals beat the Chargers in the Super Bowl 26-16 to win their first ever Super Bowl. Kyler Murray won Super Bowl MVP. Justin Herbert won MVP of the regular season with the Chargers. Arthur Smith won Coach of the Year with the Falcons. Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald won Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. Jackson Smith and Jigba won Offensive Rookie of the Year with the Giants. Will Anderson won Defensive Rookie of the Year with the Cardinals. We have $76 million in cap space. All of a sudden, DJ Reader has a lot of interest in coming back to the team. He wants a 1-year deal for about $15 million. He's an 87 overall star dev. I'm going to offer it to him. He's coming back. Chidobe Awuzie, 85 overall star dev. I'm going to go ahead and offer him a deal. He doesn't have a ton of interest, so I'm going to pay him a little bit more. We're just going to go year by year with your buddy. He's coming back. Boyd, I know he's been like a mainstay for the Bengals, but at this point he's 29 years old, 82 overall star dev. He's only going to get worse from this point. I really don't want to pay him, what is that, 11, 12 million a year for 3 years as a third receiver. Jonathan Jones, probably going to try to upgrade him. Jermaine Carter, Jonah Williams, I do want to bring him back at left tackle. He's 26 years old, 79 star dev, scheme fit. 3-year deal for about 40 mil. He's coming back. Bradbury, probably going to move on from him. Davis Gaither, he wants a 4-year deal for about 19 mil. That's not bad. Not a bad deal. He's coming back. Perfect offer, he said. Stanley Morgan. Yeah, all these guys are moving on from. This is what the team is looking like before free agency. Joe Mixon's up to superstar dev. Jamar Chase is superstar. Could use a third receiver. We could go with Broker at right guard. He's the guy that we drafted in the first round. It's not too bad, actually. He's 74 overall with normal dev. We might just end up doing that to try to save money to spend in other areas. Defensively, really don't need much. We needed a cornerback, maybe. That's pretty much it. Switching the defensive playbook to a base 4-3, and we're going with the Kansas City's defensive playbook. Bringing in cornerback Marcus Peters. At this point, he is 31 years old, 83 overall star dev. He's a scheme fit. Got him on a 1-year deal. Also bringing in Chase Claypool at wide receiver. He's 26 years old, so he's 3 years younger than Boyd. He's a 77 overall star dev, scheme fit. Got him on a 2-year deal. Definitely picking up the 5th-year option for Jamar Chase also. First round of the draft, we have pick number 22. I'm going to take this cornerback, Jared Ross from West Virginia. He's 6'3", 194 pounds. He's a zone guy. He's a true first-round talent. I have 100% scouted. 21 years old. Great acceleration, good agility, good change of direction, great speed with elite strength. He has B zone coverage and C man coverage. He's got hidden dead with 93 speed, not 97. In the second round, I'm going to draft this defensive tackle, Manny Rudolph from Washington State. He's 6'5", 307 pounds. He's a power rusher. Have him 100% scouted. He's a true first to second round talent. 23 years old, but he has great acceleration, great agility, great change of direction, elite speed with good strength. He has A play rec, B finesse moves, B power moves. He's got hidden dead with 89 strength and 79 speed. Third round, I'm going to draft this center, Ted Williams from Oregon State. He's 6'3", 307 pounds. He's an agile scheme fit. He has a chance to have A in a lot of stuff, so we might have found us a gym down here. 22 years old. Great acceleration, elite agility, great change of direction, great jumping, solid speed, and strength. He only has normal dead with 85 strength. Fourth round, I'm going to draft this running back, Marquise Spires from USC. He's 6 foot, 227 pounds. He's a power back. 22 years old. He has great acceleration, good jumping, good speed, great strength. He's got hidden dead with 92 speed and 83 strength. Wow. Fifth round, I'm going to draft this wide receiver, Derek Richardson from North Carolina. He's 6'5", 232 pounds. He's a big dude. He's a physical scheme fit. 22 years old, he has decent acceleration and agility, good change of direction, solid jumping and speed with good strength. Normal dev with 89 speed. Looks like we had us a pretty good draft here. The cornerback we drafted in the first round is a 75 overall. We did see that he had hidden dev, 21 years old, 93 speed. His man coverage is only a 67, which is terrible, but he does have 76 zone. Definitely gonna have to build up his man coverage ASAP. Defensive tackle in the second round was a 72 overall. Hidden dev, 23 years old. The center we drafted in the third round, 72 overall. He only had normal dev. Running back in the fourth round, 72 overall. We did see he has hidden dev, and he had 92 speed, 77 break tackle, 93 acceleration, 84 agility, 86 carry, and 81 trucking. Spin move's only a 73, but he's a power guy, so that doesn't matter. Maybe he'll develop in a couple of years. The rest of these guys are on the 60s. Check out the entire NFL draft recap. Number 1 pick was a quarterback that went to the Jets, 74 overall. Highest in the whole draft, a 78 overall tight end that went to the Jaguars in the first round. Then there was a 76 wide receiver that went in the second round. There's a lot of 76 overall guys here. This is the starting lineup for season 2. Joe Burrow is a 94 X Factor. Mixon's a 92 superstar. I'm gonna go ahead and start the running back that has hidden dev over Spears. So Spears will be the second guy. We got Jamar Chase, Chase Claypool we brought in free agency, and then T. Higgins over here. So we got Smith at tight end, Collins. I'm gonna go ahead and start Broker at right guard. And we still got Karras, Kappa, and Williams. Defensively, the biggest thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trade Mike Hilton away. He's on the last year of his deal. He's down to 81 overall. That way we can make room for the rookie corner to play in the slot. So we got Hubbard, Hill, Reeder, and Hendrickson on the defensive line. Rudolph's gonna be backing up these 2 defensive tackles. Hopefully he develops and can take over one of their jobs next year maybe. Jesse Bates down to star dev, he's a 94. Hill's a 77. Wilson's a 88, jumped up to superstar. So we got Pratt and Davis Gaither at the other linebacker spots. Broncos had a ton of interest in Mike Hilton, the cornerback. They gave me a second round draft pick for him. I was not expecting that to happen, but I'll take it. We're off to a great start. We're 5-2, leading the division. The Ravens are 3-3, and the Steelers and Browns are both 2-5. See what players we have to negotiate with. We got $120 million in cap space. It's a lot of money. Joe Burrow, we got to sign him to a huge deal. Joe Mixon. Yeah, we have a few guys here. Start with Joe Burrow. 27 years old, 94 overall, scheme fit, X Factor. He wants a 5-year deal for $226 million. He's coming back. We got $80 million left. Joe Mixon, I'm gonna go ahead and sign him for the rest of the rebuild, 4-year deal. He's coming back. Got $72 million left. Trey Hendrickson. How does he have 87 overall with only normal div? That's crazy. I want to wait till the end of the season to see if he regresses some since he's 29. Might be able to get him a little bit cheaper. My luck could probably jump up to superstar div or something and be expensive. DJ Reeder, I'm going to wait till the end of the season since he's 30 years old. Awuzie, same thing, wait till the end of the season. Go ahead and bring McPherson back. He has like 0 interest, but let's bump him up to a 4-year deal. Kicker is demanding more money. The hell kind of world we living in? Marcus Peters, probably a 1-year thing. Lyle Collins, I'm gonna wait till the end of the season on him. BJ Hill, same thing, he's 28 years old. End of the regular season, we finished 12-5, won the division. The Browns and the Ravens both went 9-8, and the Steelers went 2-15. Let's check out the season stats. We had the 4th ranked offense. Offense is balling out. Let's see some good news on defense. 15th, that's way better than 28th last year. Joe Burrow had 4,700 yards passing, 34 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 66% completion with a 104 rating. Great season from him for sure. Joe Mixon had a breakout year, 1,400 yards, 5.5 per carry with 23 touchdowns. Awesome. Tajay Spears had 300 yards, 4.2 per carry with 6 touchdowns. So that means that the computer messed with the depth chart and moved Spires down. But that's alright. I mean, he still did good, so. Jamar Chase, 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. Claypool had 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. Higgins, 800 yards, 8 touchdowns. Irv Smith, 700 yards with 5 touchdowns. Logan Wilson led the team in tackles with 131. Sam Hubbard had 13 TFLs, and he led the team in sacks with 10.5. Still not getting a lot of sack production here. Hendrickson had 5.5, Pratt had 3.5, Reeder had 2. Chidobe Awuzie had 4 interceptions. Logan Wilson had 3, along with Jared Ross, the rookie corner. He had 3. That's good to see. Gaither had 2, and Marcus Peters had 2. Going to be playing against the division rival Baltimore Ravens yet again in the wild card round. They went 9-8. Hopefully they don't end up knocking us out this year like they did last year. We also have the Texans against the Browns, the Patriots against the Broncos, and then the Chiefs had a first round bye week. Oh, it seems like we just can't catch a break against the Ravens. They're our kryptonite. They beat us 31-10, knocking us out of the playoffs. Chiefs beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl 42-21 to win their 3rd Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes won Super Bowl MVP. Desmond Ridder won MVP of the regular season with the Falcons. Arthur Smith won Coach of the Year with the Falcons. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams. Nick Bosa won Defensive Player of the Year with the 49ers. We have $86 million in cap space. Trey Hendrickson's 30 years old. He's 86 overall, scheme fit with normal div. He wants a 3-year deal for like $52 million. I don't know, man. I mean, he hasn't really been producing. DJ Reader, 87 overall, scheme fit, star dev. He wants a 1-year deal for like $15 million. We'll go ahead and offer it to him. Who else do we have? Chidobe Awuzie. I'll go ahead and offer him a deal. Doesn't have a ton of interest. I'm gonna jack him up to 13. He's taking the deal. He's coming back. McPherson, the kicker, he was like, "No, I want more money." I'm gonna offer him the same deal. All right, go to free agency. I don't care, man. Lyle Collins at right tackle. I don't know. I think I might end up moving on from him. Marcus Peters, moving on from him. BJ Hill at defensive tackle. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to let him walk and just let that rookie that we drafted end up starting, because he had star dev still. Trey Hendrickson, I guess I'll go ahead and offer him a deal. So offer him this 3-year deal and see what he says. He's coming back. All right, we got $42 million left. Still have plenty of money. I need to upgrade the center. This guy's already down to a 76 overall, normal dev, 32 years old. Everyone else moving on from. This is what the team is looking like before free agency. Joe Mixon jumped up to X Factor. We don't need a wide receiver. We do need a right tackle. So on offense, that's basically all we need is just a right tackle. Defensively, we've been keeping the same guys on the defensive line, and they just have not been producing. Besides, I think it is Hendrickson is the one that's been producing. Let me look real quick. I don't want to be talking down on him if he's actually doing his job. Yeah, see, he hasn't been doing that great, and I just signed him to this huge deal. Alright, I wonder if he would do better at defensive tackle. He's like 270 pounds, but I don't know. We're going to see what happens with the free agency and the draft. You can see that Ross still has star dev, the cornerback. Rudolph has star dev, defensive tackle. So we need another cornerback. Dax Hill has not really been progressing. He's been staying in the upper 70s the whole time. Well, let's go to free agency and the draft. Free agency, I'm bringing McPherson back at kicker. Nobody else wanted him, so I was able to get him on a pretty cheap deal. Cornerback J.C. Horn is 83 overall, star dev, scheme fit, 25 years old. Got him on a 5-year deal. And Elijah Vera Tucker, he's an 82 overall, star dev, scheme fit, 26 years old. Got him on a 3-year deal. I'm going to actually move him out to right tackle. I'm going to turn down the 50-year option for Daxton Hill, the free safety. I'm going to probably end up moving on from him, or if we want, we can sign him for a cheaper deal. Here in the first round, we got pick number 24. I'm going to draft this strong safety, Abdul Quinton from Wisconsin. He's 5'9", 215 pounds. He's a hybrid guy. I have him 100% scouted. He's a true round 1 talent. 22 years old. He has good acceleration, good agility, solid change of direction, solid jumping, great speed with great strength. He only has normal dev, 92 speed. Well, that's not good. Second round, I'm going to draft this middle linebacker, Stephen Harper from Louisville. He's 6'3", 227 pounds. He's a field general, scheme fit. Only have him 50% scouted, but he looks pretty intriguing. 21 years old. He has good acceleration, good change of direction with elite speed and good strength. He skipped the combine. He has B pursuit, A hit power, A zone coverage. His tackle is going to be between an A and a C. He does have A awareness. He only has normal dev, 90 speed. Third round, I'm going to draft this defensive tackle, Cameron Callahan from LSU. He's 6'3", 287 pounds. He's a run-stop and scheme fit. 22 years old. Great acceleration, solid agility, change of direction, good jumping, elite speed with good strength. He has hidden dev with 81 speed and 87 strength. Here in the 4th round, I'm going to draft this wide receiver, Zaire Jones from Florida. He's 6'3", 217 pounds. He's a physical scheme fit. Maybe he'll be good enough to take over for Chase Claypool. 21 years old. He has good acceleration, good change of direction, good jump, and solid speed with good strength. And he's got hidden depth with 90 speed. Awesome. Checking out the draft recap, the safety I drafted in the 1st round is a 74 overall. We saw that he only had normal div, unfortunately. I'll probably just make him be a backup for the 1st season. 2nd round, I drafted this middle linebacker. He's 73 overall. He only had normal div as well. We had bad luck with that. And then I didn't realize this whenever I forgot that we had 2 2nd round picks because we traded that one guy away, but they're like right beside each other. So we drafted this guy. And as soon as I drafted him, I skipped to next user pick, and we were already on the 24th pick, so it automatically skipped me to the 3rd round. So the computer drafted this safety with that 2nd round pick. He was only a 72 overall with normal div. So yeah, that was unfortunate. Defensive tackle in the 3rd round, 72 overall. I believe he had hidden div. Yeah, he's already playing up to a 75. And then wide receiver I drafted in the 4th round was a 69 overall. Did have hidden dev also. The Steelers drafted them a quarterback in the 1st round, pick number 1. He was an 80 overall, and he was the highest in the whole class. And then there's 3 guys that were 78, and 2 of them were taken in the 2nd round. Dang. This is the starting lineup for the 3rd season. Burrow's a 95 X Factor, Mixon's a 93 X Factor, Chase is a 97 Superstar, Higgins is a 92 star, Claypool's a 82 with star div, and then the rookie Zay Jones, or whatever his name was, Zaire Jones, is going to be the 4th string receiver with his hidden dev. Probably take over for Claypool after this season. Offensive line, we have some pretty good outside guys. In the middle, I have 2 guys here. Well, Broker started last year, and Williams is going to be starting this year. So I'm trying to utilize some of the draft picks that we use to save money in areas. On the defensive side, still got Ross, Awuzie, and brought in J.C. Horn at cornerback too. I'm really thinking about making Quentin the starter over Hill. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it. He has a chance to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And I'll just go ahead and trade Hill away because I'm probably not going to bring him back anyways. Wilson's a superstar. So got Pratt and Gaither. Bates is up to a 94 with star div. We do have the rookie defensive tackle with 75 overall with hidden dev. Rudolph is going to be starting beside Reeder. And then we still got Hendrickson and Hubbard at the defensive end spots. Best draft pick I could get for Hill was the 4th round pick from the Colts. At the midseason point, we're 4-3, 3rd in the division. The Ravens are 5-2, the Steelers are 4-2, and the Browns are 3-4. Let's see what players we have to negotiate with. We got $88 million in cap space. Jamar Chase, definitely want to bring him back, obviously. Let's offer him this 4-year deal and see what he says. He wants more years. Figured that was going to happen. DJ Reader, I'm going to wait till the end of the season on him, 31 years old. Chidobe Awuzie, same thing. Kappa, waiting on him. Pratt might move on from him. Claypool, most likely moving on from him. Irv Smith, I don't know yet. End of the regular season, we finished 11-6, 2nd in the division. The Steelers went 13-4. What the heck? They barely won any games last year, and now they went 13-4. The Ravens went 10-7. The Browns went 7-10. See what happened with the player stats here. We had the number 2 ranked offense. Love to see it. Defensively, what happened this time? 24th, what the heck? Joe Burrow, 5,300 yards passing, 44 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 68% completion with the 112 rating, probably his best season of his career. Rushing yards, Joe Mixon, 1,200 yards, 4.4 per carry with 13 touchdowns. Tyjae Spears, I can never say his name right, 5.3 per carry on almost 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 105 catches, 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns. T. Higgins had 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Irv Smith, almost 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. Claypool, 900 yards, 13 touchdowns. Defensively, Pratt led the team in tackles with 101. Gaither had the 2nd most. What's his name? The other linebacker. Forgot what his freaking name was. Logan Wilson. He got injured and he was out for like 33 weeks after, I think, like, I don't know, 6 or 7 games, something like that. Trey Hendrickson had the most TFLs with 24. We actually got some okay sacks. Hendrickson had 10.5. Hubbard had 8. Reeder had 8. Rudolph had 4.5. Awuzie had 5 interceptions. Bates had 3. Pratt had 2. And then Gaither, Wilson, Horn, Quentin, Ross, and Lynch all had 1. We're going to be playing against the 12-5 Las Vegas Raiders in the wild card round. We finally don't have to play against the freaking Ravens in the first round. The Steelers have to do it this time. The Steelers and the Ravens, and we got the Jets and the Broncos, and the Colts got a first round bye week. Another first round exit in the playoffs for us. The Raiders beat us 28-23. Niners beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl 24-20 to win their 6th Super Bowl, and quarterback Chase Bryant was Super Bowl MVP. Jacoby Brissett won MVP of the regular season with the Raiders. What the heck? Jared Larson won Coach of the Year with the Eagles. Josh Jacobs won Offensive Player of the Year with the Raiders. Aaron Donald won Defensive Player of the Year with the Rams. We have $100 million in cap space. Jamar Chase is about to take a big chunk of that right now. I'm gonna offer him a 5-year deal. He's coming back. We got $73 million. DJ Reader, might as well bring him back. Why not? He's coming back. Chidobe Awuzie, I'll go ahead and bring him back. Still 85 overall. Doesn't have a ton of interest, so let me bump him up. He's not interested in signing. He's tired of getting defeated in the first round of the playoffs. Moving on from Pratt. Kappa, he doesn't have a lot of interest. I'm gonna see if I can upgrade his position. We're definitely moving on from Claypool. Irv Smith Jr. at tight end. I think I'm gonna move on from him. If we have to, we can always bring these guys back in free agency. Hubbard, he's down to a 77 overall. Definitely moving on from him. Probably gonna move on from the rest of these guys too. This is what the team looks like before free agency. We could use a third receiver because I guess Jones lost his hidden dev for whatever reason. We need a new left guard. We could go with Laporta at tight end, or we could get a new one. Defensively, Callahan lost his freaking star dev. What the heck? But Rudolph still has his. We need another defensive end. We do still have Logan Wilson, but we need another linebacker, another middle linebacker. Quentin, the safety I had starting as a rookie, stayed at normal dev. Yeah, it's not looking good. We need another cornerback. All right, time to go do some free agency and drafting. Free agency, I'm bringing in Jamal Adams at strong safety. He's at 89 overall, star dev, scheme fit, 30 years old. Getting Khalil Mack at defensive end. He's at 81 overall, scheme fit with normal dev. He's 35 years old, but he's been getting like 11 or 12 sacks every year. I looked at his stats. Roger McCreary at cornerback, 78 overall, star dev, scheme fit, 26 years old. Nakobe Dean at middle linebacker, scheme fit, normal dev, 25 years old. Try to get a couple of offensive linemen, but all of them turned me down. Here in the first round, we have pick number 22. I'm going to take this left tackle, Ben Hess from USF. He's 6'4", 307 pounds. He's an agile scheme fit, 100% scouted. He's a true first to second round talent. 21 years old. He has great acceleration, elite agility, great change of direction, elite jumping, elite speed, great strength. Dude looks like a beast. He's got hidden dead with 89 strength. Here in the second round, I might regret this, but I'm going to draft this outside linebacker, Justin Childress from Georgia. He's 5'11", 225 pounds. He's a pass coverage scheme fit. I have him 95% scouted. 21 years old. He has elite acceleration, elite agility, elite change of direction, elite jumping, good speed, and decent strength. So that's why I was like, man, I got to draft this guy. But the thing that I don't like is that he has D block shedding. He does have A awareness, B hit power, A pursuit, B man coverage, A zone coverage, and A tackle. He's got hidden dead with 82 speed. Third round, I'm going to draft this wide receiver, Julian Farrell from Purdue. He's 6'3", 223 pounds. He's a physical scheme fit. 23 years old. He has great jumping, good speed, good strength, decent change of direction. He only has normal dev, 91 speed. Fourth round, I'm going to draft this tight end, Javier Bird from San Jose State. He's 6'5", 245 pounds. He's a possession scheme fit. 22 years old. He has poor acceleration, solid agility, solid change of direction. He has good speed and elite strength are the main things that I liked about him. And it looks like he can catch. He has A catching traffic. Normal dev with 82 speed. Left tackle Ben Hess is a 74 overall. Does have hidden dev. He's going to be starting for us on the offensive line for sure as a rookie. Justin Childress, the middle linebacker. Well, he was outside linebacker, but I moved him to middle linebacker. Got him in the second round. He's a 72 overall. He has hidden dev as well. 82 speed, 78 tackle. Block shed's only a 63 there. That's freaking terrible. The rest of the draft was meh. Let's check out the entire NFL draft recap. Number 1 pick was a 70 overall offensive lineman that went to the Lions. What the heck are they doing? Highest in the whole class, 3 guys, 78 overall. There's outside linebacker, wide receiver, and a defensive tackle. 77 running back that went to the Cardinals in the 2nd round. This is the starting lineup for the 4th season. Burrow's a 97 X Factor, Mixon's a 92 X Factor, Chase a 97 Superstar. We didn't get a 3rd receiver, so we're going to roll with Garland. Higgins is a 91 Star Div. The rookie offensive lineman starting for us at left guard, 76 Hidden Div. We're going to go with Laporta at tight end. Defensively, we brought in Khalil Mack at defensive end. I'm going to end up starting Rudolph over Callahan since Callahan lost his star div. So we got Reeder and Hendrickson. J.C. Horn, McCrary, and Ross are 3 cornerbacks. We got Bates and Adams we brought in free agency to play strong safeties and 91 star div. Logan Wilson coming back off of injury. Brought in Kobe Dean in free agency, and we still got Gaither at other outside linebacker. I'm going to switch the defensive playbook to Buffalo to see if that helps, because our defense has not been so great the last couple of years. Here at the midseason point, we're off to a great start, 6-1, leading the division. The Steelers are 5-1, the Ravens are 2-4, and the Browns are 2-5. See what players we have to negotiate with. We have $92 million in cap space. Jesse Bates, definitely want to bring him back. He has a ton of interest. I'm going to go ahead and give him an offer right now. He's coming back. $77 million left. T. Higgins, definitely want to bring him back. 27 years old. He's at 91 overall. He's coming back. We're just throwing money out to everybody, man. Everybody's getting paid. Reeder, wait till the end of the season on him. Punter, we'll go ahead and offer him a deal. He's coming back. Jonah Williams at left tackle, 28 years old, 82 overall scheme fit, star div. Definitely want to bring him back. He's coming back. We got $44 million left. Khalil Mack's probably going to be a 1-year thing. Tyjae Spears probably going to move on from him. End of the regular season, we finished 11-6, won the division again. The Steelers went 11-6, the Ravens went 10-7, and the Browns went 7-10. See what happened with the player stats over here. We're the number 2 ranked offense. Our offense is balling out, even though we didn't have a true 3rd receiver or tight end, and defense was ranked number 19th. I guess so. Joe Burrow, 5,000 yards passing, 42 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 68% completion with a 109 rating. Joe Mixon, 1,300 yards rushing, 4.9 per carry with 19 touchdowns, solid production. Jamar Chase, 100 catches, 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns. Higgins, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns. Laporta came in and had almost 1,000 yards on almost 100 catches, 7 touchdowns. Zaire Jones, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. Logan Wilson led the team with 111 tackles. Gaither had 110. Where's Kobe Dean at? 41 tackles, that's it? Alright. Trey Hendrickson, 19 TFLs. Look at this, Khalil Mack, 35-year-old Khalil Mack got 13.5 sacks, way more than any other freaking defensive end that we had this whole time. Trey Hendrickson had 10, DJ Reeder had 5, Rudolph had 2.5, Callahan had 2.5, J.C. Horn had 5 interceptions, very nice. Wilson had 3, Bates had 3, Adams had 2, and then McCreary, Ross, and Harper had 1. That left guard that I drafted in the 1st round, he just had star div, and defensively, Childress, he still hasn't shown what his hidden div is. Probably barely played at all. Yeah, he still has a good amount to go. We're playing against the 11-6 Miami Dolphins in the wildcard round. Maybe we can finally get us a freaking win here. We got the Patriots against the Steelers and the Jaguars against the Jets, and the Chiefs had a 1st round bye week. But the big thing is that there's no Ravens here in the playoffs, so they cannot beat us. Got our first playoff win here. We beat the Dolphins 45-22. Next, we're going to be playing against the 9-8 Jacksonville Jaguars in the divisional round. Jaguars beat the Jets 24-6. On the other side, we have the Chiefs against the Steelers. We beat the Jaguars 35-17. Finally made it to AFC Conference Championship game. We're going to be playing against the 11-6 Pittsburgh Steelers. They are rivals. We have a playoff rival thing here. I've never seen this, I don't think, so I'm about to check it out. Coach, it's not often you have to play someone for a 3rd time, but you're facing a familiar foe this week in the Steelers. Chess match, hard hitting. Let's call it a hard hitting, bro. Defensive players on both teams will have +5 hit power. Beat the Steelers and advance to the next round of the playoffs. Yeah, no crap. Steelers started out as a number 7 seed. They beat the Patriots 17-14. Then they knocked out the number 1 seed Chiefs 34-27. On the other side, we have the Rams against the Cardinals. Playing in Cincinnati, AFC Conference Championship game. First quarter, it's tied 0-0. Second quarter, we're losing 7-0. Now we're losing 10-0. Now it's 10-7. Now we're losing 17. Now we're losing 24-7. We're down. We're getting blown out here. We need to come back. Fourth quarter, we're losing 27-21. Come on, let's get back in this game now. We just lost to the number 7 seed, man. Steelers beat the Cardinals in the Super Bowl 39-31 to win their 7th Super Bowl. Najee Harris won Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes won MVP of the regular season with the Chiefs. Rod Starling won Coach of the Year with the Jets. David Montgomery won Offensive Player of the Year with the Panthers. Max Crosby won Defensive Player of the Year with the Raiders. Defensive end Khalil Mack retired after 13 years. We have $69 million in cap space. DJ Reader is 33 years old, 82 overall, scheme fit, star dev. He wants a 1-year deal for almost $9 million. I'm gonna offer it to him. He's gonna come back. Tyjae Spears, I'm moving on from him. Nick Broker, he's the guy we drafted in the first round, and I think the very first draft class was the realistic one. He's 26 years old, 79 overall, scheme fit, normal dev. Doesn't have a ton of interest, so I'm gonna bump him up to 5.4 mil, and he signed. We got 55 million left. Laporta jumped up to star dev, definitely bringing him back. Doesn't have a ton of interest, I'm gonna offer him a 4-year deal. He's not interested in signing. How much is it to franchise tag him? 14 million? No, we'll get him in free agency. Rest of these guys, I'm moving on from. This is what the team looks like before free agency. On offense, we pretty much only need maybe a third receiver, and for sure want to get Laporta back at tight end. The rest of the offensive line and everything's looking pretty good. Defensively, we need another pass rusher over here, and maybe you could use a third cornerback, but pretty much everything else is good. Free agency was going crazy. I tried to get so many guys and people just kept turning us down. So I ended up getting Marshawn Lattimore, the best corner available. He's a 93 overall, superstar, scheme fit. Also bringing in DeMarcus Lawrence at defensive end. He's 35 years old, but I tried to get like 4 other guys that were younger than him that were higher overalls, and they all turned me down. Also getting Trey McBride at tight end. Tried to get Laporta back, and he turned me down. He went to the Chiefs like a freaking traitor, man. I'm going to trade for this wide receiver from the Ravens. I'm giving him a 1st-round pick and 2 7th-round picks. This is the last year of the rebuild, so we need to try to get as many best receivers as possible for Joe Burrow. Lance Dotson is the guy's name. He's 6'4", 220 pounds. He's 24 years old. He's an 81 overall physical, scheme fit, star dev, 93 speed, 88 catching, 91 catching traffic. Looks like he's pretty freaking good. Here in the 1st round of the draft, I'm going to draft this tight end, Raphael Camp. He's from Texas A&M, 6'6", 256 pounds. He's a vertical threat. I guess we traded away our draft pick from the next draft, not this one, for the 1st round that we gave up for that wide receiver. This guy is 22 years old. He has poor acceleration, which is obviously not good, but he has great agility, great jumping, good speed with decent strength. He has A catching traffic, A catching. He only has normal dev with 82 speed. What the heck? 2nd round, I'm going to take a chance on this power Russian outside linebacker, Hunter Stanley from South Dakota State. He's 6'5", 270 pounds, 22 years old. He has elite acceleration, decent agility, decent change of direction, solid speed with good strength. He has B power moves, and his finesse moves is going to be between a B to a D. Normal dev with 80 speed. Looks like we didn't do so great in the draft. This might be the worst draft class of the whole rebuild. The computer drafted this wide receiver in the 6th round. That's a 70 overall, and he has hidden dev. He has 96 speed with 98 acceleration, so apparently he's a speed burner out here. Check out the entire NFL draft recap. Number 1 pick was a 77 overall middle linebacker that went to the Texans. And then the highest in the whole class was a 78 overall left tackle that went to the Eagles. This is the starting lineup for the 5th and final season. Joe Burrow's a 97 X Factor, Mixon's a 94 X Factor, Chase is a 99 X Factor, traded for Dotson, he's 81 with star dev, Higgins is a 92 star dev, brought in McBride at tight end free agency, 77 overall normal dev. Offensive line is looking pretty freaking good. They're all in the low to mid 80s. Defensively, we brought in the Kobe Dean at middle linebacker. Still got Wilson and Gaither. Bates is a 94 star dev at free safety. Adams is 88 star dev at strong safety. We got JC Horns at 87 superstar. Lattimore's a 94 superstar. Ross is going to be in the slot 81 normal or star dev. Hendrickson's at 84 superstar dev. Reader's at 86 with star. Rudolph's at 82 with star. Brought in DeMarcus Lawrence in free agency. He's at 83 with normal dev. At the midseason point, we are 4-3. We're right in the thick of it for the division. Ravens are 4-2. The Steelers are 4-3, and the Browns are 1-6, simulating to the playoffs to see if we make it in. End of the regular season, we finished 10-7, made it into the playoffs. The Ravens won the division with the 12-5 record. The Steelers went 7-10, and the Browns went 5-12. Check out the season stats for the year. We had the 5th ranked offense. The offense has been high powered the whole entire time, as expected with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. 10th ranked defense. Joe Burrow had almost 5,000 yards, 46 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, 67% completion with a 107 rating. That's a solid season from him. Joe Mixon, 1,300 yards, 4.8 per carry with 14 touchdowns. Great season from him. Jamar Chase, almost 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns. Higgins, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. Dotson, the receiver we traded for, 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. I think it was worth it for sure. McBride at tight end, 600 yards, 4 touchdowns. Defensively, Logan Wilson led the team in tackles with 127. Nakobe Dean had 89. TFL's DeMarcus Lawrence led the team with 20. Look at all these sacks that we got. Hendrickson, 12.5. Lawrence, 12. Manny Rudolph, the defensive tackle, had 10. Reader had 4. Callahan had 4. Lattimore led us in interceptions with 5. Wilson had 4. Horn had 2. Adams had 1. And Gaither had 1. Of course, for the last season in the playoffs, we would have to play against the Baltimore Ravens. They went 12-5 on the season, going against them in the wild card round. Could never beat them so far in this rebuild. The Jets and the Jaguars, we got the Broncos and the Colts, and then the Texans had a first round bye. We were finally able to beat the Ravens 35-21, going against the 12-5 Texans in the divisional round. They had the number 1 seed. We also have the Jets against the Colts. Decided to check out the Texans season stats. They got Bryce Young at quarterback. He threw for 5,000 yards, 45 touchdowns. They got Dameon Pierce still at running back. He had 1,100 yards, 16 touchdowns. Who they got receivers? Gabe Davis had 1,400 yards. Some dude named Larry Ellison. They also got A.T. Perry, Darnell Washington. Who's their defensive leaders? T.J. Edwards. They got, I don't know who this guy is or how to pronounce that. Wilkerson, Lucas, looks like a bunch of guys I never heard of. Unfortunately, the Texans beat us 31-20, so we got knocked out of the playoffs. The Jets beat the Cardinals in the Super Bowl 24-17 to win their second ever Super Bowl. Their quarterback, Demarius Smith, won Super Bowl MVP. Lamar Jackson won regular season MVP with the Ravens. Marshawn Wallace won Coach of the Year with the Jaguars. Lamar Jackson won Offensive Player of the Year with the Ravens. Michael Parsons won Defensive Player of the Year with the Cowboys. This is what the final team looks like. Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, and Jamar Chase, all the J guys. They're all X factors on the offense. They stuck it out the whole entire rebuild. Still got Higgins over here. Still got Williams at left tackle. Defensively, we still got Wilson. We still got Gaither. We still got Jesse Bates. Still got Hendrickson. Still got DJ Reader. So we still have a lot of the original guys on the team. Fortunately, we were not able to win a Super Bowl. The Ravens beat us in the playoffs multiple times. We were finally able to get past them this last season, but we could not make it to the Super Bowl. That's going to be it for the video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, make some suggestions in the comments below for other types of rebuilds you would like to see. I appreciate everyone for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace!